If you're ready to get into the island relax mode, have I got the video for you. Today we're going to draw this island restaurant. You're going to love it. We're going to look at a little perspective, some textures, and we're going to finish it off with drawing some waves. Can't wait to see what you do. My name's Kurt, I'm a dad who draws. Come on, let's get to work.
So let's go ahead and start with this idea of a quick gesture. And what I want to do is just spend maybe about 3 minutes and see what we come up with. So I'm going to time it actually. So we're going to go ahead and get started right about now. And let's just give it about 3 to 5 minutes. I'll give you 5 minutes. So here we go. Quick gesture for 5 minutes. And that does it there. All right, so there's our quick little rough sketch gesture of that. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off just by putting kind of our eye line, where our eye line is going to be. And our eye line actually coincides with the horizon on this. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of just put some type of framework so I have some boundary that I'm working within. And I'm going to raise my horizon line just a little bit higher on the page than what I just drew it, because I want it to be just off center just a bit. Okay. All right. I think the first thing that we're going to draw is we're going to draw this house. And that's going to help us anchor everything in proportion. So when I look at this house, one of the items on this house that is very clear to me is this. And I'm going to show it to you right here. This corner is really clear to me. So that's the first line that I'm going to want to drop in. So approximately, I'm going to put it right about there. All right, approximately right about there. Next line, the next line I want to put in is going to be this back one. Look at that right there. You see that? So that's the second line I'm going to drop in. Then we're going to connect the top of them just like this. You see this? Just like that. We're going to put in the other one, and we're going to put it at the other end of the house, just like that. And then we're going to connect the top. Okay, now look closely now. Look what we got going here. When an object comes all the way down to our eye line, it runs flat. So let me show you something here. Our eye line is right where the horizon line is. You see that? So let's do this. Let's bring these walls all the way down. All the way down to here. This is what we should be looking at, I believe. Okay, let's get this roof. Let's figure out this roof here. So first thing I want to do is I want to put an X. This is going to help me find the center of that block. And then I'm going to go straight up, just like this. I'm going to draw this really lightly. Now, when I observe the peak of this roof, it's not flat up against the side, it's actually toward the back. So I want to just bring that dot back just a little bit, almost like it's going back in space. Then I'm going to erase that, and I'm just kind of guesstimating that's about the top part of that roof. You see that? Now we're going to just kind of bring the edges down. Something like that. I'm good. Okay, great. Okay, so let's see the bottom part of this house, because I'm just going to go right about here. You see this? Because from the bottom part is the stone work. You see that? And the top part there, the top part is the white part of the house. You see that? Let's come down below the horizon line there. And we got this island. And it's going to we're just kind of putting it in a shape right now. And this is going to help guide us.
You know, one of the best things that you could do in order to improve is to draw a little bit every day.
I've got this great membership class called the Daily Draw.
We get together every day for about 30 minutes. I go live in the afternoon, and we cover all things that have to do with drawing. If you stuck with this for 3 months, I guarantee you're going to be far more confident in your drawing. Link is in the description. Check it out. All right, let's get back to work.
Okay, right up here at the top of the house, I'm going to start to put this fence in, or the very top of the staircase. Okay, so it's going to be small. You don't have to go too big on it. And this is kind of what I'm looking at. I'm going to look at this arrangement. Here's the one. There's the other. You see that? And then I'm looking down here to see about where the end of that staircase comes down. So let's put in those posts next. So it's coming in here, and I'm like right about there. And I'm going to be right about there. You see that? Now I can just kind of connect the dots. And then this is going to come all the way down to the ocean here, to the level of the water. Let's get this first big rock in here, and we got to think of overlap a little bit. So let's look at the shape of it. It has a downward slope there, I think. Keep it light, because we're going to come back and draw on top of this stuff. Okay, I got another rock over here, it looks like. And then I got a large rock behind everything that comes down like this. You see this? Looks like you have some cement foundation that's like in the corner over here. So let's kind of get something like that in place. Now look at this. Now look at this little this edge of the dock. Look how far that comes out and to the side of the house. See how much further it comes out? So let's make sure we get that accurately in place. So that's going to come out maybe like right about there. All right, continuing. Getting all of our little proportions in place, right? Before we start having fun and putting the details in. So there's going to be a railing that's going to go across here. Let's get this big tree on the right hand side here possibly, and I think what's going to happen is I'm going to have to go beyond my border on the right. Is that? Oh yeah, let me just erase this because I'm going to go beyond that. So when I put in these trees, I think what I'm going to do is look for the overall shape, and get the right proportions. So let's see here. So this is all I'm going to do. Very, very lightly. Looking just for the shape of it. And then same thing over here. I'm going to very lightly take a look at these shape of these bushes trees coming out over there. Okay. That should just about give us the all the major construction pieces. So I think we could get in and start doing some detail now. So why don't we start off with some of these steps? And I want to show you a trick of getting these steps nice and even, okay? So let's start. This is the landing right there. You see that? And let's get this vertical line so it's almost like a ramp right there. You see that? And let's put the top one in, top step, just like that. Okay, let's divide that right in half. Let's put a step right in the center because our minds are really good at finding the center of things. And let's half this here and half that up there. And let's do it again with those pieces. And I think that looks pretty good. I don't know if I would add any more steps. Let's do the bottom now. Same thing. We're going to do at the bottom down here. So this is the bottom where it comes in contact with the water. That's half that. And then half that. All right. Okay, so we got that. Let's now get in this window here. This window, all right, it's going to just come down here. Where is that coming? All right, it's much smaller than what I think it is. So I'm trusting what I see and not what I think here. It feels like it should be bigger, but and then we have a small window on the side as well. This roof has some excellent texture. So let's follow the surface here, and then just create a little line going across here, and then just kind of follow that texture pattern, that little pattern there. Now I think I'm going to tone in the front here just a little bit. Now that the picture doesn't really do that, but it will help to turn the corner just a bit by having a little bit of a lighter side versus darker side. It will help read better as a square or a cube. All right, then we got this opening, which is very dark, so don't be afraid to go dark on that. I'm going to drop one more tone on that roof to set it apart, because it is a different value than the house, and that will help create a little more contrast. And I like this dark shape that's on the side of this house. I'm just going to put that in just like that. This restaurant. Okay. Looks like there's some type of tree or something here. And then that seems to be tying this railing up right over here. You see that? And then they've got some sign announcing the name of the restaurant, which is called The Rock. I might have to put this restaurant on my bucket list. Okay, let's go ahead and get some of this this other railing in. So, this other railing comes across. It looks like it has a different railing right there, another rail. And I'm just going to take some license here and not make it perfect like the picture, but just enough so that when someone sees it, they're like, oh, look at that railing. Okay, this has this one little post that comes out of the water there and one behind it there. And then it has like some flat 2x4s, it looks like, right? Okay, let's go ahead and move down into this rock, some of these rocks down below, okay? Let's start with the one on the far right. He's the easiest to see, I think. And if I just draw a line right there and then tone, I'm going to tone this whole rock in with one value, the whole thing with one value, nice and even. And then I'm going to come back over this little shadowed area here. And I'm going to do the same for this rock behind the steps here. It's just going to drop it in with one tone. Then go back in and rework the shape a little bit. And then this other rock in the back here. Get a nice even tone on that as well. There's some darker values to help separate those rocks. And I'm even adding like some dots to try and give some texture to it. You see that? All right, we got this little bit of cement, and then underneath it is this dark silhouette. Okay, let's get this stonework in at the base of the house here. I'm going to go with an even tone all the way across. And then where it turns the corner here, even though this is not in the picture, I'm going to add a little more tone to the right side. And then I'm going to add just some slight texture to kind of try and give a sense that this is made out of rocks. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead now and start working on some of this foliage in the back here. And let's just start off, I think I'm going to start off with an even tone. So don't go too dark, but just give yourself an even tone. And we'll do that on the other side as well. Okay, I'm going to go in here now and start to make small, almost like marks that are uh, a small C, but also adding tone behind them too, so I can darken some of these things up. And I'm thinking of to add more dark at the bottom, so we'll have some sense of light that's hitting the top, but the shadow is kind of getting in below. Small textures. And here's the kicker: when you kind of get close to the house, the side of the house, feel free to darken in your foliage a little bit, because that's going to create contrast with the side of your house and make your house leap forward. It should be quite nice. Try and group your texture together and not make it continuous. You see that? what I'm trying to work here is like contrast of values. So look, for example, our roof is a darker value. So if I'm going to put like some type of trees back here, I want to keep those relatively light. But then when I get to the side where the house is, I want to kind of reverse myself. I'm going to move over to the other side now. Same technique I've been using, just trying to group. Look at this here. This is interesting. Look at this. You kind of get the feel of that kind of grouping right there. And then, of course, you kind of have this grouping, and then you kind of have this grouping up on top there. You see that? Let's kind of try and keep that in mind. Just break it down nice and slowly. No rush. You can see how I'm making my marks here. I think what really helps is to start with that underlying tone. Then you don't have the white of the page popping through, you know? Don't be afraid going dark. Now, underneath here, you got some really dark values, and let's go with it. Interesting silhouettes going on here. Okay, I'm going to switch over to start to get some of this water in now. So if I'm not sure where you're at on your trees, but if you want to just kind of put those to the side for the time being, and we can you can come back to that. So the waves that are closer, this water, I'm actually going to just use a little bit of a scallop. And then as it's closer to the restaurant or the stairs here, I'm going to make them a little bit smaller, a little bit calmer. I'm just kind of doing this thing. That's what I'm doing right now. Now we're going to have, if you squint your eyes, you can actually see the reflection in the water. So let's go ahead and just add some tone down here. And then we could start working that back in just a little bit. I'm almost drawing again, but almost in reverse, just slightly. It doesn't have to be exact because this is a very choppy sea here. But I'm making my line, I'm just keep thinking like this as I'm making my lines. All right, I think we're coming up on our hour here, so I think we're pretty good. At least I got this to a nice place. We'll have to, please do post your work in Facebook and I'll take a look at it. Any questions? Okay, if I ever check out of society, you could come find me at the Rock. I think I'll retire in this little restaurant. somewhere off of the African coast. Okay, I think that's it for tonight. My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and thank you for watching. Okay, good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
A dad who draws.